Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part world you guys are in. I want to take this opportunity to talk to you guys before I go in. I'm going to continue talking about the faithfulness of God because I feel like someone really needs to understand the way God moves and know that his words are just. And if you keep your faith and stay going forward, I guarantee that everything that you ask him for, as long as pleasing and it's in goodness, he will make a way and make a path for it. Remember, anything that God does is not in our time, but is done in his own time. And because things are done on God's time and not ours, it makes a big difference in our life. And sometimes we want something when we want it and it doesn't work because you're not in line with God. It's not in line, and you're not there. Your strength that you need to sustain that life that you're asking for, you have to be mentally, emotionally, and physically ready to deal with a lot of stuff that God, the blessing that he has for you. Example of that, right now, the position I'm in, I wanted this job for a long time, but it took me 9 years to get this job. And that just tells you, even though I did so many other jobs in between, my heart was still on this job. And I know that when something doesn't work out for you, is because God is in line in everything. Because when we're going through things in life and we want something else, we cannot perform properly. And because we can't perform properly, God put that stuff on hold. So remember, not all no with God is permanent. It's temporary because he has to fix everything in the moment that is supposed to in line with each other. And when mentally you're going through stuff, emotionally, financially, whatever it is, you have to understand that the way God works is not everything that you ask for will be on the timing. So because his timing and our timing is not the same, and that's something I had to learn. That's why I'm telling you guys. And now that I got the job that I wanted, I am content. I was content before because no matter what situation I'm going through, God was always there. And contentment is a big thing. Just to understand the faithfulness of God and the love of God. The way God moves is not the way we move. So because of that, we have to learn how to be patient and wait on his word, right? Psalms 111, 7 through 8. The works of his hand are faithful and just. All this precepts truly worthy. They are steadfast forever and ever, done in faithfulness and uprightness. So know whatever God's plan is for you, it's going to be a good one. That's one thing I know, you never have to worry about what God has for you, because everything he has for you is for good. I mean, sometimes in life, like I said, you're going through stuff, you're wondering, you've seen all these negative people or perceived bad people are going ahead of you. It seems like their life is better than you. But remember, a lot of these people, you don't know what they have done to get where they're at. Some of them have done good stuff, some have done bad stuff. Whatever it is they're living, if God is not a part of it, it will not last. So there's people around you, probably your neighbor. They have a better car than you. They look like they make more money than you. They look like you're happy, but perception is like something that people really got to grasp, because what you may see may not be the life they have. They may look happy on the outside, but inside the house could be in turmoil. And when you sell yourself to the devil for quick financial gain or whatever it is that you're trying to gain, it will not last. It's temporary. But with God, when God gives you your blessing, it's forever. Your blessings, once the door open, you will keep going up. So learn how to be faithful and wait faithfully on God. Corinthians 1:19, the first. God who has called unto you fellowship with his son Jesus our Lord in his faithfulness. So know that Jesus had paid a way for us and a price for us. So if you follow the Son of God, then you know that your place is going to be a just place. It's going to be a right place. So you don't have to worry. I'm telling you, when God moves for you, there's been some great things happening in my life. And I just want to thank God for it, because I know personally my pain. And we don't know each other pain unless we talk to each other. But the reality of it is, all of us go through the same thing, different season. No one ever think that, my life cannot be worse than this. There's always someone's life that's worse than yours, and you think you're in pain. I have met many people whose life are worse than mine, and some people have met me and they said, man, I thought my life was bad, and you went through all this stuff. How could you still be so kind? How could you still be so loving? How could you still be faithful? And I explained to them, because God has been in my life and he moves and he has opened doors. There's no one that can convince me that God does not exist, that God is not there for me, because the things I have been through, God has uplifted me. And when you know the truth, You live the truth. You know. When you know better, you do better. And that's why a lot of people in the world are not doing better, because they lack knowledge. Because they lack knowledge, they cannot do anything but what they're doing, which is half of the time is the wrong stuff. Remember, the path that God has for us is better than the one we have for ourselves. We ourselves want to believe that decisions we make are best for us. But at the end of the day, God has control. I don't care how many roads you take, how many books you read, how much jobs you obtain. There's some people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're miserable, and there's people who make less, half, like quarter of that, and they're more happy, because money, material things does not sustain your happiness. When you find your destination in life where God has placed you, you are so much happier. People think that when you make more money, you're happy. You're not. Look at all those rich people. Look at all the rich people that's committed suicide, been on drugs, who overdosed, and they had money. They have so much money. And that should tell you, open your eyes, people. Open your eyes and see that the fulfillment that God has for you is not of this world. It's peace. Peace within you. Peace within your heart. When you serve God, like I said, you will understand where I'm coming from, because people whose eyes are blinded to the fact how the world is. We are a slave of different kind. We are a slave of ourselves, because we disconnect ourselves from God. We want the things of the world to be permanent, and they're not. Life is not permanent. The only thing permanent is change. You're here and you're going to leave this place. This place is temporary. Remember, the body that God gave you, the outer exterior, was made in His image, but the true spirit, the soul, is what God linger over. Your soul is what's going to be damned if you don't change who you are. You will not have eternal life. Remember, we are sinners, and God gave His Son to redeem our soul, and He gave us free will, because He didn't want us to feel like, we have to serve Him. We have to know that He is the Father and we should obey Him. We should obey because He's the Father. He gave us life. He sustained life. But people, we are too stubborn. We are stubborn for ourselves. Even though Jesus Christ came down and did all this miraculous stuff, we still fight against Him. And that's the devil. The devil is trying to stray you and pull you away, because he knows your destination. Your destination is already fixed. Like I keep telling people, whatever it is that you think is best for you, it will not work out for the best, because at the end of the day, God determined the final destination of all our lives. If we decide to turn our back against Him and we go the other way, then we ourselves are damning ourselves to put ourselves in a pit of loneliness, deceitfulness, and unkindness, because when you do not serve God, you're serving the devil. It's that simple. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. If you're not serving the one true God, you're serving the devil. The devil is a God of mischief. And if you not doing what God asks you to do or place you to do, you are serving the devil. You can fool yourself all day and pretend you're caring and you're kind, you're loving. But if you're not serving God, then you're not living a godly way. There's people who spend money, they pay other people bills, they say, they say nice things, but they're not serving God, because they're not living kindly, they're not going into church, they're not serving in the church. There's people that go to church all week and go out there and do all these vile things. If they're not cheating on their partner, they're doing some kind of drugs, they're doing evil things behind people's back, they're talking and demeaning people's character, they don't like the fact that someone have more than them. If God has blessed that person, let it be their blessing. Everybody's blessing doesn't come the same way, because we all go through life and pain in a different season, even though it's the same pain. Never think that you're better than someone. If God has placed you somewhere, He didn't place you there for your own, just for you to brag, because you have done nothing. Everything that you have is because of God, that He's giving opportunity. And People don't understand that when God has placed you someplace, it's not for your own liking. It's not for your own place to say, I'm better than this person. It's for you to help someone. God puts you on a pedestal to help others, not to just run around and show off and say, look at me, look at me, look at me. Remember, whatever God gives you, He can take it away easy. You have to learn how to be grateful. Like I said, the faithfulness of God is something that you can hold on to. His words are gold. Not like human, where they say, I promise you, I love you, and then a week from now, they don't love you because you said something they didn't like, or they don't care about you maybe because someone else came into their life and made them feel good. If something is not in line with God, I'm telling you this, if something is not in line with God, it will not last. Understand where I'm coming from. I've seen it happen to so many people. If it's not in line with God, it will not work. There's a lot of people who have temporary attention or temporary love or temporary finance, because they're praying And they're thinking it's God answering the prayers. But realistically, if you're not loving your neighbor, if you're not loving your brothers and sisters, if you're not being kind to them, if you're not the one that putting your heart into helping them, if you're not going to church, if you're not serving in your church, if you're not serving the one true God, everything that you have is temporary. The devil will dress you up and use you for a parade. I'm telling you, he will dress you up and use you for parade. And when he's done with you, you got to go back on the same knees and ask the same God that you turn your back on to help you. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by this world. Know that God will sustain you. If you have a place to sleep at night, if you have food to eat, no matter how small it is, you are blessed. If you wake up this morning, you are blessed. If you can see, you are blessed. If you can speak, you are blessed. There's people who have so much less than us that can see, hear, speak, talk, and they're more grateful. Sometimes I say to myself, wow, why did the people that can see, talk, move are not more cheerful, are not more happy? There's people that's born blind and they give God so much glory and their life is wonderful. When I think of Stevie Wonder. When I see the love, when he sings, and I used to listen to his music, I feel love coming from him. Even though he was born, it's not he wasn't unhappy as a person. He was loved, and God put great people around him. I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he went through anything in life. I'm sure he went through some steps in life that lead him to the place he's at right now. But when I hear that man sing, I know that he truly have God in his life because he's blessed. He always look nice. He's good. When you have a good heart, God will put good people around you. Even though wicked people may come, God will move them out the way. You will move them out the way. And sometimes our pain is lessons that we have to learn. Not every package that's wrapped in nice bow is a good package. People will deceive you. Learn to know and understand. The devil will dress people up and put them. We ourselves invite the devil in our house and we don't even know it. Because when we start living in this world instead of the spiritual world, we don't understand. But when you find God, I'm telling you, you can feel the people. They cover you like a blanket. And not in a good way. That's what I'm saying. Like when you find God, you start to understand the perception of people. You know when someone is not genuinely caring. And these could be family members. This could be your husband. This could be your wife. This could be your best friend. Because realistically, when people love you, they love you unconditionally. They love you with your flaws. They love you with your brokenness. They love you with everything that God created you to be. And they stick by you and help you throughout your stuff. They don't quit on you because they're in a better position or they found themselves and stuff. A true friend, a partner, a true whatever it is, the person in your life that say they love you, they will stick by you no matter what. They're not going to just uproot and leave you because they don't like what's happening today. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, stay truthful to God. God's word is just and he's loving and kind. Psalms 18:25. To the faithful, you show yourself faithfully. You know, stick to God. God will never disappoint you. Humans will disappoint you. You know, I've been through a lot of disappointment in my life, but it has made me grow closer to God. It's sad to say sometimes when people hurt you, you actually find yourself. Sometimes you want to thank them. Sometimes the pain they give you is so hurtful, but yet you can still find God in the midst of all the deceit, the deception, the displacement in your mind, your heart, your body. But that's when you find God. Learn to find God in your brokenness because he's there no matter what. But we ourselves is the one who decide, you know what? Let's turn to humans and ask them to help. Let's turn to humans and ask them to bless. But the reality of it is, when you're broken, that's when you find God. But we should not find God in brokenness. We should find him throughout whatever good times, bad times, whatever times we're going through. But majority of the time, 90% of the time, people find God in their brokenness. And that's just the reality of it, because no one go looking for God unless they're unhappy, which is sad, because you're supposed to thank God each and every day, regardless if you're going through good or bad. You thank him for sustaining your life. You thank him for giving you everything that you have. You thank him for keeping your mind. Lord, I want to take this moment to thank you for all the things you have done for me. You know, God said, you know, you declare him and he will also declare you. He will justify you. If you turn your back on God, he can also turn his back on you, because sometimes he let us fail to understand that what he has for us was the best. I see, like I said, I see so many people go through this. I've been through it. Not personally, I have hurt anyone. People have hurt me. And later on down the line, the same person had to turn around and say they're sorry. That is just the just of God. When God moves for you, he moves for you. Understand that you're not alone. We all go through the same thing. Never feel like you're alone. God loves you. If you're serving him, then know that your plate will be full. It will never be empty. It will never be empty. That's what I'm saying. I had some days where I don't know where my bills is going to be paid. I didn't see any money in sight, but God always make a way. This is why I can speak the way I'm speaking. When you truly have God in your life, I'm telling you, you will not be scared. You will not be scared because you know that even though you cannot see him, he working behind closed doors for you. And that's how God moves. Keep your faith. Know that the faithfulness of God is something you can rely on, not on human understanding and not on human promises. But God said, if you don't be a fool and make promises to God, because God is in heaven, you are on earth. And we love to tell people we promising. We don't understand the word of promise. Stop using the word promise if you intend not to fulfill what you say. Because when you tell someone you promise, is the person's holding on to this word. They trust you. They believe in you. You know, and it's like gold to them when you say I promise. The expectation is there. And when you don't do it, it hurts the person. So do not make promises you cannot fulfill. A lot of you do not keep promises to yourself. Know this. Okay? If you cannot keep promise to yourself, you never keep promise to God or anybody else around you. Learn who you are. If you're broken, be broken until you can find God. But don't go around making promises to people you cannot fulfill. Remember, we are human beings. We have hearts, but our heart belongs to God. When we connect ourselves, our soul belongs to God. That's all I'm going to say for today. I hope I reach one person with this message. May God continue to bless you and watch over you. And you guys have a good day, because I plan to have a good day. So just let the work of God come over you and his grace, and just be a better person. Understand the faithfulness of God. Do not worry. For those people going through a lot of deception, if you're serving God, just know this is a road. This is just a short moment. There's something better that's going to come for you at the end of the day. You don't have to worry. God will sustain you. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you're going through now is temporary. But that's if you're serving God. Now, if you're serving the devil, you're going to be on a long, long road of bad deception, unholiness, ungratefulness, and you're just going to keep repeating the same thing. Some of people are repeating the same pattern over and over because they're not learning the lesson. Remember, God put imperfect people in your life for you to learn something from them. And if you be good, no matter what the perception is, if you be good to that person, God will create another window for you. And something I have learned, not every person you're attractive to is a person for you. People fail to realize how chemistry works. You can be attracted to a whole lot of people. It doesn't mean that you belong with them. It don't mean you're going to connect with them. It's just a feeling. You know, God connect us. God has a special someone just for you, and you may not want to accept the person for who they are, but the reality of it is that's the person that God has placed for you. And when you decide that that's not good enough and you leave, you will find yourself searching for a long time until you actually come back and realize what God has placed in your life. You guys have a wonderful day. That's it for me. I'm about to go in. Have a great day. Bye.